With San Diego Comic-Con now over and done with, the next big convention for Funko will be New York Comic-Con in October. So I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady. Figured you could use some help with this video today.
And today we're going to be making our Funko Pop predictions for New York Comic-Con 2025.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, but let's check it out.
And for this video, we are going to be making 10 predictions on what we think will be exclusives for New York Comic-Con this year. And it will be divided into 10 categories, starting off with the ad icons, which for my prediction will be a Halloween-related Pillsbury Doughboy. Now, this category was a bit difficult considering that Funko has yet to do an ad icons Comic-Con exclusive this year. The last time I believe we did get one was with that underwhelming Diggum Frog from San Diego Comic-Con last year in 2024. But I know in the past Funko have done various Pillsbury Doughboy pops, whether it be Pillsbury Doughboy in the Santa Claus outfit, the Easter version, and I'm pretty sure they even did a St. Patrick's Day related one, but they've never done one related to Halloween, which is super close to New York Comic-Con.
My prediction is some variation of the California raisins. It's been tough to do ad icons because there's so many of them. I own most of them, and they've done a really good job of getting a lot of these obscure characters, and I'm not exactly sure which version of the California raisins. Maybe we could do like a 2-pack or a 3-pack even, where they could be smaller looking pops, like similar to the size of like Pokemon pops.
The next category is animation, which my prediction will be a pop rides of the Shark Submerged 3 from One Piece. Now this was kind of an obvious prediction considering we had the White Horse pop rides for WonderCon earlier in the year, and of course we had the Mini Mary 2 for San Diego Comic-Con, and now we have the Shark Submerged, which all of them are related to the Thousand Sunny Soldier dock. So it makes sense that we're ending it off with this Shark Submerge.
From the Yu-Gi-Oh lineup, Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, if you don't know who that is basically a like fusion monster of course, Red Eyes and the Dark Magician, and I think that this thing would look wicked in pop form. There's, of course, a ton of different characters that we'd love to see from Yu-Gi-Oh! But I think this one's a good pick. There's a lot of detail that can go into this character, and I just think that the pop would look awesome.
Next category is DC Comics, which I went a little bit different for this by not just doing a pop, but actually a bitty pop set for the new Superman movie. Now, for San Diego Comic-Con, specifically for Marvel, we had the Herbie pop for Fantastic Four: The First Step, alongside a bitty pop set for that movie that featured characters a part of the Common Wave. So I feel like for the Superman movie that just recently released, that we're going to be getting some sort of bitty pop set where we take, let's say, Superman, Crypto, Lois Lane, and Lex Luthor, adding them as the 4 bitty pops for the set and just selling it as, let's say, a Funko Shop shared exclusive.
And my prediction is actually a Funko Pop of Clayface. I do believe we have seen at least one Clayface pop before. With in 2026 the new Clayface movie coming out for DC, I think that we will get some pops of that, but I don't see why we shouldn't get a con exclusive of Clayface.
The next category I have is Disney, which my prediction is going to be Hannah from Toy Story. Now this year does mark the 30th anniversary of the first Toy Story movie, and it is a big possibility now of having human characters considering the newest wave has Andy, Al McWiggum in the chicken suit, Sid Phillips, that's a specialty series exclusive, and especially the Freddy Funko as Sid if you do include the NFT set. But I thought it would make sense to have Hannah here considering that she's a bit of an obscure character to where it makes sense to be a Comic-Con exclusive.
Henry J. Waternoose III for Monsters Inc. I think it would be great to see a Funko Pop of him. Of course, he has all those eyes that can be done perfectly well. It might have to be in a 6-inch box just because of the way his legs are kind of pretty long and probably wide out on the pop itself.
Next category is the games lineup, which my prediction is a Luminosity Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I'm basing it off the fact that earlier this year we did have a Treasure Hunter Knuckles, and then for San Diego Comic-Con we had the Buccaneer Shadow, which from my knowledge, those are skin variants for the Sonic Speed Simulator game. That they're gonna make another character from that specific Sonic game as a Comic-Con exclusive, and I think a no-brainer would be Sonic itself here. And specifically this version version with the outfit that he's wearing, I do imagine that this would be a glow-in-the-dark variant.
And for the games category, Shark Dentist, I believe is what it's going to be called. It's basically a horror game where you are a dentist working on a shark that is asleep, I believe. So yeah, basically that's what the pop would be. It would be the shark itself, and then there would be maybe a smaller pop of the dentist itself working on the shark's teeth. I think that that would look so cool in Funko Pop form, and I could see this game being one that ends up like blowing up, and a lot of people really do enjoy this game, so I don't see why Funko wouldn't make Funko Pops of it.
Today I wanted to give a shout out to Sentinel107, and the reason that they ended up getting a shout out is because they joined our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month. Not only do you get the shout out, but you do get lots of other perks, including early access to every single video and shorts that we produce on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It will be greatly appreciated and will go a long way of helping out this channel a lot. So definitely consider it, but let's get right back to the video.
The next category is Marvel, and the pop I have here is Mole Man for Fantastic Four: The First Step. Now this may actually be a spoiler considering that this movie did release the same weekend as San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend. And as we're recording this, which is actually before San Diego Comic-Con, that it is rumored that there is going to be an appearance of Mole Man in this movie, and that character was not even featured in the trailer for Fantastic Four: The First Step.
Doctor Doom for Avengers Doomsday. And I think that this just makes so much sense. I think maybe it would have been a more practical release at San Diego Comic-Con, considering that the reveal for Doctor Doom was actually at San Diego Comic-Con, but I think at New York Comic-Con it totally works too.
The next category is movies, which my prediction is a pop of Principal Strickland from Back to the Future. Once again, another anniversary this year being the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. And I was really certain that we were going to get a Back to the Future pop for San Diego Comic-Con, but maybe they're saving it here for New York Comic-Con. I feel like Principal Strickland is a pop that is long overdue. I think this definitely makes sense for a convention exclusive.
I went with the actual golf legend, John Daly, from Happy Gilmore 2. I'm super excited about Happy Gilmore 2. I actually do have a Happy Gilmore pop right here, which is coincidental enough. I think it makes perfect sense for Happy Gilmore 2 to have John Daly in their pop lineup, and I don't see why it shouldn't be a con release.
Next category is Star Wars, which the pop I predicted is of Ki-Adi-Mundi. Now this year, once again, I'm basing a lot of my predictions off of anniversaries, is the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. And once again, this was a little bit difficult considering that we haven't had a Revenge of the Sith or really any Star Wars convention exclusive pop yet in 2025, besides that Darth Vader pop we had that was for TargetCon that technically isn't really a convention, but it is at the same time. And normally for New York Comic-Con, they do present us with really awesome Star Wars pops, like a few years back with the Anakin Skywalker for Attack of the Clones. Ki-Adi-Mundi is long overdue for this lineup also, and I feel like this would make a great New York Comic-Con exclusive.
A pop rides of General Grievous with his wheel bike. I think that this would be so badass. It's such an interesting design of a vehicle, and I think it would look really, really cool in Funko Pop form. Of course, most of the General Grievous pops look awesome all the time anyways, and it just makes so much sense to me to be a con release, especially with the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
The next category is television, which I predicted a pop of Jonah from Superstore. Now, earlier this year, we had the first wave of Superstore pops with Dina, Garrett, and Amy. But a big question that we were all wondering is, where the is Jonah, the main character of the series? And I feel like they on purposely left him off of the set, considering they would make him as a convention exclusive. And of course, it wasn't announced for San Diego Comic-Con, so I do feel it's going to be saved for New York Comic-Con.
My pick is what I'm gonna dub Super Vecna. I don't know, I'm assuming it's probably just going to be called Vecna. It is Vecna, but you do see him at the end of the trailer or near the end of the trailer, and he looks like he's like pretty juiced up. He's looking pretty big and pretty scary. I think you just see his back. So he does look a little bit different now. Of course, he's gone through some stuff with season 4.
And the final category is miscellaneous, where basically is pops from different categories that couldn't fit in the other ones. Prototype John Cena. Especially with this year being the farewell tour of John Cena and Funko making various John Cena pops, that I do feel that it's a bit long overdue that they make an older John Cena pop. So yeah, I definitely think that would make sense for a more obscure John Cena to be a convention exclusive here, especially for the final year of his professional wrestling career.
I actually went with a Pop Rocks pop, being Chapel Roan, I believe is how her name's pronounced. She's newer and up and coming. She's at the top of the charts, of course, so I think it makes sense. We did recently see a release of a Sabrina Carpenter pop, so I don't see why not with a Chapel Roan, and she has a very distinct look to her, so they could definitely go with different versions of her. I don't know if they'd go with like Hot to Go, but yeah, Chapel Roan I think would be a great version of a Funko Pop, and I think a lot of people would like it. She has a ton of fans right now, so I think it would be really smart for Funko to make.
And that's our predictions. Thanks for watching. See ya!
Bye.